Welcome, dear students. My name is Mahesh Singh, and I'm a Polity faculty at Success Mantra. In today's lecture, today's lecture is just to provide you a glimpse about the polity, the subject polity, and what all we need to cover in polity for our exam, that is for 3-year LLB as well as for the BLLB, that is 5-year course. So first I will start with 3-year students, the 3-year, that is DULLB or Maharashtra CT, BHU, or for that reason any other exam as well. For the 3-year students, one thing that we need to keep in mind that 1/4 of the paper is polity. 1/4 of the polity is a polity means it is equal to 50% of your selection. 50% of your selection heavily depends on your polity. So you need to have a good understanding of the subject as well as have a good grip over the subject. If you have an understanding as well as a grip over the subject, you can definitely deal with any sort of the question that will come in exam, no matter of what level it is. So in today's lecture, I will tell you which all topics you need to cover, what should be your approach. When we talk about 3-year students, remember, here there are some of the topics framed in the structure, the way it needs to be covered. Starting with the making of constitution, jumping to preamble, union and territory, citizenship, fundamental rights, DPSP, fundamental duties, and so. You can just go through these topics. If you do a preparation by yourself, as well, you can cover this topic, or we will be dealing here in number of the slides and the number of the video lecture that will be coming from that will be provided to you in the coming time. So these are the topics like sources of the constitution, president, vice president, union, council of ministers, Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, governor, state legislative council, assembly, union territory, panchayat, emergency, judiciary. Then we have tribunals, center state relationships, then different bodies. These are all the bodies that you need to cover. Bodies in the organization, the organ of the states. Even these people are the organs. Then historical background, where we read from 1773 till 1947, all the acts that was passed in the British India. And also there is one important topic, that is anti-defection. So you need to cover all these topics, go through the static portion. These are the topic that we are going to cover in the coming videos, but I won't be starting with the making of constitution. Rather, I will start from the DPSP, and then we will continue. We will follow that schedule as provided here, and the remaining topics, this will be provided sometime in later. Now for 5-year, you need to cover the static portion. Once you are done with the static portion, then go with the current affairs section. I am talking specifically with regard to polity, not general current affair, but specifically with respect to polity. So just cover a static portion. Once you're done with the static portion, go with current affair. See what all topics were there in the current affair. Any of the topics, like for example anti-defection was in current affair, just see that what was the matter related to anti-defection that was in current affair. But most probably they ask you static related questions. So if you do a static portion, have a command over the static portion, most probably 80% of your polity questions are in grip. Now going with the 3-year student, 5-year students. See, for 5-year students, all these topics are not of much use. You need to have an understanding of some basic topics like making of constitution, then fundamental rights till fundamental duties, sources of the constitution, then president, then Lok Sabha, then you have a state assembly, governor and the state legislature, a bit of knowledge about emergency provision, judiciary. This much is more than sufficient. But we all know that in the recent past, the CLAT has changed its pattern, and now they give the more emphasis on current affair. So in polity, you need to change your approach. What all topic that I have mentioned you till now, those topics are of much importance. You need to have basic understanding, go through these topics, have a basic understanding on these topic. But your approach for exam should be just go with the current affairs section first, see what all topics are there in the current affair, and then relate it with the static portion. For example, You know that the state of Jammu and Kashmir has been bifurcated into two union territory, that is the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and the Union Territory of Ladakh, right? Right. Now, from this point, what comes becomes more important for us to have the understanding about the Union Territory. They will provide you a passage related to Jammu and Kashmir, and they may ask you a static question that what is the part, in which part of the Indian Constitution or which part of the Indian Constitution deals with the provision of Union Territory. Then in the similar way, they may ask some other static question as well from this particular topic. We all know that in the recent past, anti-defection was a hot current affair topic in Karnataka as well as several other places. The anti-defection was the main ground of political play game. So, from that context, the topic of anti defection becomes too important for all of us. You know that in the recent past, the Prime Minister of India has for several times emphasized on the fundamental duties. On several occasions, he has mentioned that along with the fundamental rights, one need to know about the fundamental duties and perform their duties. So, again, the topic of fundamental duties becomes too important. So in this way, this is the way that you need to go through. Just go with the current affair, identify the topics, and which all topics are mentioned here, just deal with those topics becomes too important. Like we all know that recent in some month or 2 or 3 months in past 2 or 3 months ago, the vice president has talked about he in one of at one of the event he talked about the Supreme Court, the regional bench of Supreme Court. So in that respect, the Supreme Court becomes too important. We all know that CVC, CIC, these bodies were there in the news in the recent past, hence this topic becomes important. So in this way, you have to deal with the topic. Just go with the current affair, identify which of the topics are important, and then relate it with the top static portion. If you do it, believe me, my dear friends, no of your current affair, neither your current affair nor your static portion will be out of your cover. So this was all about polity and the approach and the topics that we need to tell. In the coming video, I will be starting with DPSP. From there, we will try to cover all this topic that has been mentioned in this particular, on your slide. Whatever topic you see, all these topics will be covered in the meantime. So till then, goodbye. Have a nice day.